This is the Multi-Orgasmic Millionaire Podcast, the only sex podcast for 7- and 8-figure conscious leaders who want to embody their pleasure and have the best sex of their lives. I'm Tilly Storm, top 20 sex coach in the world, and your host today. I don't know about you, but I truly believe that there comes a time in almost every woman's life where she just gets to the point where she wants to burn everything down that she has built and start all over again. Well, my loves, this is kind of what's happened for me over the last couple of months. As I've mentioned on the last episode, or maybe the one before, this is a really big month for me because on November 30th, 2022, this podcast turns 5 years old. And also, this is the first episode that has aired with the new name of the podcast. So I changed the name from the Multi-Orgasmic Mama to the Multi-Orgasmic Millionaire to reflect more accurately the type of clients that I desire to work with and the type of people that I want to draw into my field and magnetize into my space. With that, there comes a little bit of a backstory. So I started the business right when I started the podcast in 2017. I started as a sex, love, and relationship coach fresh out of training, and I had a lot of success initially right off the bat. As you'll see in the description of the podcast, I went from being a single mom on food stamps. I started this business in literally the most terrible place I've ever been in my entire life, having had to leave a marriage of 7 years for really unfortunate reasons. And at the time, I had been driving for Uber on the weekends to support myself and my family in the best way that I could. And then when I became single again and I ended up moving towns to New Orleans, Louisiana, which is more about where I'm from originally, to be closer to family and to have a little bit more support in that way. I started my career there, and I built it up to 6 figures in less than a year and a half. I cannot remember exactly how many months it took, but I was making $15,000 to $20,000 within less than 18 months. And with that initial success also came a little bit of a personal issue. I started noticing that every time I get on a coaching call with someone, that I'd have this anxiety, this overwhelm come over me. I had worked my ass off to get my family situated after such a huge rupture, a move, after being left with nothing but $2,000 to my name and having to figure out how to make life work without someone supporting me financially. And this anxiety was because I had 15 private one-on-one clients at one time. So I immediately realized that there had to be a way to create the same transformation that I was getting for my private clients in a group setting. And that's when I learned what scaling a business meant and how to do it. And by the way, I had very little knowledge about how to run a business and be an entrepreneur at the time. When you go to any coaching training or coaching school, they teach you hardly anything. It's like the bare minimum, just so you have like the bird's eye view. But it really takes working with tons of business coaches and really mindset and embodiment coaches and trauma healing and integration coaches to really create the type of business and the coaching space that you really want, because there's so many roadblocks that we have in being successful doing what you love. Because most of what we were modeled is that you just go to school, get a good job, and try and find happiness within the thing. But that was never my path, and I knew that all along. I knew that for me, I needed something that felt like it was my soul's calling, that it was the only way that I'd ever be truly happy, because I was here to do something big. So I learned what scaling was, and after a lot of hesitation, because I really had some major limiting beliefs around helping people actually transform their sex lives in a group setting, I finally just got over it. I don't even remember how it happened, but one day I woke up and a download hit. Like, it came, and then it came like a freaking fireball right into me. The Essentially Embodied Woman group program was born, And that started in February 2020. Well, little did we know the entire world would come to a halt just 3 weeks into that first round of the program. And ever since then, I've had 95 women go through that program, along with a handful of private clients that I've kept who the group format just wasn't what they wanted or needed. So ever since late spring this year, 2022, everything was going along just fine. I was restless as fuck. I wanted more. I wanted to go deeper with clients. I wanted to be charged what I'm worth, which was a lot more than I was charging at the time. I was creatively stifled. I hadn't really created anything new that I felt super proud of in a really long time that created the level of change and transformation in people's lives as that group coaching program has. Some of the thoughts running through my head were like, well, why in the world would I burn this program to the ground if it works so well, even though I'm creatively stifled? Well, as the universe does, we just kind of have to follow the energy. So the things we learn about ourselves when we take action, right? Well, I wasn't sure if I still wanted to run that core program while also going super deep with private clients. So one day last week in an hour-long breathwork session, I do breathwork regularly. It's one of my favorite practices to really get in my body and to listen to my deeper intuition and knowing and to really just get out of my head. Running a business is a really heady operation, so it's one of my favorite times of the day because I can just check out and really connect with my body and my pussy and see what wants to emerge. In this session last week, I pretty much had it out with the universe. And I drew a line in the sand. I said, no more stifling my creativity. I'm here to let the energy of life flow through me. I'm here to create. I'm here to be fulfilled in all of the ways, not just some of the ways. So how could I reconcile wanting to create new things while also continuing to do things that I know work? And then the download dropped in, which has led to this entire episode being recorded right now. Well, as the universe always does, she lovingly responded that I simply needed to rename and revamp my signature group program, make it more clear for who it is for, to update the name, the content, who it's for, the videos, and our member library, and to continue to do what works in a way that works, but to put more of me into it. And I've been around long enough to know that when the inspired action comes, that shit is gold and you better run with it. So I did. I took immediate action. And not only did the solution to my creative stifling come to an end, but an entire new offer suite of how I'm working with people moving forward has come through. Now it's time to tell you what those ways are, and I'm so excited to be sharing this because if you stay till the end, I have several limited time bonuses to announce for those of you that apply to work with me in one of the 4 ways that I'm about to tell you about by December 2nd, 2022. All right, let's talk about the group program changes. Again, it was formerly named The Sensually Embodied Woman. Now it is named Sex Goddess 5 Months to Total Freedom in the Bedroom. And it's for women who want sex to be even better than when they got married or their little ones came along. And I am relaunching the entire program in early December. So the last day to apply for this or any of the other things with some pretty freaking sweet bonuses I'm going to tell you about in a sec is December 2nd, 2022. I also hesitated posting this podcast because I don't like to feel like I'm constantly selling to you all. And I know that I just sent a bunch of emails about the 8 types of female orgasms blueprint training that I'm recording for my private clients and having you all, be able to receive that information and that training with the Q&As. As kind of like a fly on the wall. And we really did have a great time last Friday in that open Q&A section of the training. So for those of you listening that came, thank you. It was amazing. So part of me was hesitant to inundate you with other offers, like I said, because the 8 types of orgasm blueprint training just started Friday. And here I am telling you about other ways to work with me. But at the same time, I know that I get to follow the energy and to take the inspired action when it comes through and to not just sit on it, but to run with it. And with that, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Sex Goddess and who it's for. Well, this is a 5-month program just like SEW. And it is for women who want to rekindle their sexual fire, who are in a long-term relationship or marriage where the chemistry isn't quite as good as it used to be, or it's just dead. It's for mothers who want their mojo back after kids, who long for the freedom, the aliveness, and the sexiness and the energy that they had before their kids came along. It's for women who are single, who want to take the time to heal old wounds and to create a solid foundation for their sex life and their relationship moving forward. And it's for women who are raised with strict religious conditioning, who want to be taught how to feel amazing in their body and sexuality and celebrate it. If you've been listening to the show for the last 2 months, you've heard me talk about the 3 stages and phases of our sexual journey and becoming a sex goddess. So you first have reclamation, then you begin to learn how to expand your sexuality, and then you learn to master it. This Sex Goddess program is for women who want to reclaim their sexuality and move into expanding it. There are 4 components to this program that I love to share with you all. The first is that you get 5 months of group calls with me where we do group coaching, live jade egg sessions, and community connection calls. A little bit of what happens in group coaching. This is where we'll have anywhere from about 2 to 7 people on a call because we have 2 different call times to accommodate different time zones. And we go deep into processes that you're really struggling with to create integration. Sometimes they can go super deep. We can go into the body mind. Other times they're more of giving you the tips to communicate what you want and need to a partner. It just depends on where you're at and what it is that you need. So we go deep. We don't always go deep, but we definitely do go deep sometimes. So if you're scared and timid and super, super, super shy, you're not going to like this. You're probably not my people, because that is going to stifle your progress in this program. You've got to be open and willing to express yourself, to ask questions, and to take a stand for what you came here for. If you are one of those really shy people, then private mentorship, private coaching with me is going to be a lot better, because that's not going to inhibit your progress. In our weekly group calls, we also do a live jade egg practice call. This is where everyone turns their video and their audio off, and you're just on a Zoom screen, and all you can do is see and hear me. And this is where I lead you through a live guided jade egg practice. And this is where a lot of the transformational work happens. A lot of the breakthroughs happen during these sessions because you have your space set up, you're in your own environment, and I'm leading you through the jade egg practice, which is really the number one tool that I give to all women to help reclaim their sexuality and to begin to feel like a sex goddess again. If you're unfamiliar with the jade egg practice, there's so many episodes on this podcast about it and why I teach it and why it is the best tool to help a woman really step into and claim her sexuality. And we also do a community connection call where it's more light, and this is where we talk about anything from how to have an anal orgasm to work-life balance to starting your business. Like sexuality affects every aspect of our life. So this is a really fun call because it can go anywhere. Sometimes we talk about Mary Magdalene and Isis. I don't know, like literally anything could come through in these calls, and they're really just fun and light. So most people really enjoy those. That's the first component of the program, is your weekly group calls and Sex Goddess. And then the second component is your 5 private office hour sessions with me once a month. So this is a little different than what SEW has been. Once a month, you will be able to book a 45-minute time slot with me. It's only 1 day a month. It's just an office hours day a month. And you can come and we can go really deep into inner child woundings and really reparenting your inner child, any inner mother, father dynamics that we need to empower you around your own inner masculine and feminine. We'll go into your own inner ecology and what it's going to take for you to truly thrive in your sexuality and your relationships, all these things that we don't really have time to go that deep into in our group calls. So once a month, we'll be able to go through all of that and get you the transformation that you really came here for. The third component of the program is your daily accountability challenge and working with your nervous system every single morning. We'll have an app set up for you that you can keep track of your morning practices to make sure that you stay accountable for yourself through the program. and that you don't like step into this work and then drop the ball on it. The fourth component and the last component is that you get lifetime access to the Sex Goddess member library, which is going to be completely redone on this new group starting the first week of December. So I'm super excited for you all that are just starting, because you're going to get all of this fresh off the press and it's going to be way better, so much higher quality. So I'm super excited to be delivering this. All right, loves, that is Sex Goddess 5 months to total freedom in the bedroom. You can go check out that program, which is going to be the main core program, at the link in the show notes. And if you apply by December 2nd, you get some pretty sweet limited time bonuses. Like, you're going to get access to the 8 types of female orgasms blueprint training. You get access to How to Pleasure a Woman, which is an online course that I'm going to be launching for men on my email list and in this podcast, because I know there's a lot of men that listen and that make their way over to the website. And I haven't really been catering to the men because I have focused more on women's sexuality than men's, even though I'm certified in men's sexuality as well. And I have male clients. I have way more female clients than male. So I am excited to be launching this How to Pleasure a Woman training for you men. And for those of you that apply and sign up for Sex Goddess by December 2nd are going to get that $497 training for free, so you can give it to your man for Christmas. All right. And then the third bonus, the limited time bonus that you will receive for applying and signing up by December 2nd, is the Receive and Manifest training that I'm going to be recording in early January. Just like the 8 types of orgasms blueprint training that I'm recording live right now, I'm going to be doing the same type of thing. And again, this is because I'm recording it for my private clients, and you will get this training completely for free as well. And this is going to be a $999 training. I'm so excited for you, for those of you that get access to this, because using your sexuality to manifest and learning to fully receive is a lot of why you are here listening to this, because you want to learn how to do that. So I'm going to be teaching you the step-by-step process and how to receive and manifest more of what you want. And you're going to get it for free if you apply and sign up for Sex Goddess by December 2nd. All right, now for all of my men out there listening, if you're a man and you want to work on your sexuality, then what I offer is the Men's Sexual Mastery Coaching, 3 months to becoming the best lover she's ever had. Imagine feeling in control of your turn-on, feeling more sensitized, able to last longer in bed, and more intimately connected with your partner. And imagine getting the amount of sex that feels really good for you. Well, this program is for men with a higher libido than their partner, who want to master sex skills and techniques that give you a sense of being in control of your sexuality rather than feeling controlled by it. It is for men who want to rekindle the sexual fire in long-term relationships or marriage where the chemistry has died a bit. And it's also for single men who want to take the time to heal old wounds and create that amazing foundation for their sex life and their relationship moving forward. And lastly, it's for men who were raised in purity culture and strict religious conditioning, who still have some hang-ups around their own self-pleasure and who really want to feel amazing in their body and their sexuality and to be able to celebrate it. So in the men's private coaching program, there are 3 components. We meet weekly on Zoom for an hour and 15 minutes usually, sometimes to an hour and a half. And in sessions, we dive deep to shift out negative programming and conditioning around your sexuality, around pleasure, intimacy, orgasms, and we replace it with a new program that's going to give you the feeling of being empowered and in control and liberated in your sexuality. In our sessions is where I'll also be teaching you how to do your home play practices. You will have home play practices that you're going to do on your own in between sessions. There is no explicit sexuality in anything that I do with men. Don't get the wrong idea here. I'm teaching you how you're going to be doing your practices at home, and then you go home and you do them yourself. All right, the second component to working with me in Men's Sexual Mastery is access to the material where all the audio guided practices are going to be housed. You're going to have many practices that you're going to be doing through our 3 months working together that you'll be doing mostly with yourself. And sometimes I will throw in some practices with a willing partner if I know that you have a partner that's like super interested in doing this work with you. but not all of them are. So, you don't ever bring them in unless they really want to be a part of this transformation. And you will have lifetime access to those practices. And the third and final component of working with me in men's sexual mastery is voice messaging support via Voxer in between sessions. During our 3 months together, you'll have access to me to discuss whatever's coming up for you with your home play practices or within your sex life and relationships. And if you're dating, what's going on there. And I really like to hear how things went over in Voxer so I can provide you feedback and support in between sessions. And then when we get on our session, I don't have to spend time catching up on what's been going on and, where you're at currently. Because that way I already know and we can just dive super deep right off the bat. With that said, if you are a man out there and you're like, hell yeah, I want to do that with Tilly, then you can go fill out an application at the link in the show notes. And just like Sex Goddess for Women, if you do it by December 2nd, you're going to get all 3 of those bonuses. The 8 types of female orgasm blueprint training. You're going to get the How to Pleasure a Woman online course that's coming out mid-December. And you're going to get the Receive and Manifest training in early January. All right, now for the third way that you can work with me. This one is for men and women. This is the VIP experiences for men and women. For VIP experiences, we choose a time frame and a location together. We can choose a time frame anywhere from 1 to 5 days. And we will also decide whether it's going to be online over Zoom or if it's going to be in person, either in Miami or in Costa Rica. This is really a co-creation based on where you're at versus where you want to be. We get to determine what's best in terms of length and location together. While the bulk of the transformation happens over the 1 to 5 day time frame, we're actually working together for a total of 2.5 months with a minimal time commitment outside of the actual experience that we do together. Who are VIP experiences for? Well, they're for the same types of people that I described in Sex Goddess for Women and in Men's Sexual Mastery, but this is for women and men who want private support and discretion with me and don't have the time to commit to meeting weekly and doing practices several times a week. If you are a super busy, high-level person and you just don't have the time to put in to getting a transformation over a long period of time, this is the way that we can do it in a short amount of time, but that time is condensed. Like, we're going for hours a day, so it's going to be a jam-packed day. Regardless of the length and the location, there are 4 components of a VIP experience that I want to share with you to see if this is something that you're really interested in doing with me. The first is that you have 1 month of preparation, including 2 private virtual sessions with me to get you set up for ultimate success during our 1 to 5 day experience. It would be really crazy for me to get you here and to either meet you in person or online and not really have a background of where you're currently at and not really know you. So this preparation really gives us the time to get super comfortable with each other and for me to get a really crystal clear understanding of what's going on for you so that we can dive so deep in our VIP experience together and you can create exactly the transformation you came for and step out of that experience as a motherfucking sex god or a sex goddess. The second component of the VIP experience is, of course, the 1 to 5 days that we actually do together. Again, this is going to be either online or in person, either in Miami or Costa Rica. And during our days together, what are we going to be doing? Well, we're going to be full on all day. We're going to be doing breathwork sessions, jade egg sessions if you're a woman, other embodiment practices, Taoist and Tantric practices, coaching processes from Gestalt therapy. There are so many tools and practices that I pull from various different coaching modalities and healing modalities. It's hard for me to describe what we are actually going to do together, but trust me, you're going to walk away a completely different person than when you started. You're going to have integrated so much trauma, unresolved conditioning, negative upbringing around pleasure, sex, orgasms, intimacy, relationships, all of the things. you will walk away having gone through a total transformational process and feeling confident to embody your inner sex god or inner sex goddess, even though it's only a short amount of time. But when we're doing hours a day and you've got the tools and practices that you're going to go home with to be able to really integrate the process and, have a sexual training process that you can do on your own afterwards, you can do it on your own time and, whatever way feels right for you. The third component of that experience is that for 1 month post experience, we're going to meet for 2 private virtual sessions to help you integrate the experience. I wouldn't want you to walk away from the experience and not really find out where you're at in a month from now, because that can really vary between people, and it will give you the opportunity to find out, okay, well, what's the next step for me from here? The fourth component is surprises and delights. I love this part. Surprises and delights. So what does this mean? Well, like spa time, adventure excursions, especially if we're going to Costa Rica and we're on the full 5 days, we're going to surprise and delight with all sorts of amazing things. It is a VIP experience after all, so prepare to be delighted, my love. All right, now for the fourth and final way that you can work with me right now. This is orgasmic leadership. 6 months to living your most pleasure-filled life. This is my 6-month private mentorship where we go super deep into multiple aspects of your life, including sex, relationships, money, and business. If you sign up for orgasmic leadership, what can you expect? Well, you can expect to start having the best sex of your life, even if it's already great. If you haven't worked with me, you aren't having the best sex of your life yet. You can also expect to blow the lid off of your business and make more money than you've ever made through sacred feminine embodiment practices and becoming a goddamn magnet to your desires. You can expect to fully own and embody confidence in your sexuality, your relationship, money, investing, and business, and you can expect to experience a Kundalini sexual awakening by learning Tantric and Taoist practices. So we're taking you all the way there, love. I know this is for women who have done all the fucking things. They have done all the therapy, all the coaching. They are rocking it in their business. They are 7- and 8-figure conscious leaders. This is for women who are either committed or single, 7- or 8-figure conscious leaders who want to integrate their sacred sexuality and pleasure into all aspects of their life and lead their businesses from divine feminine embodiment, and who want to explore the edges of their sexuality as a spiritual and personal growth and development tool. This is what I've been talking about for like a month now. And I'm just now really sharing it in a way that makes sense to people who are curious about what I've been talking about. The second type of person that this is for committed 7- and 8-figure conscious moms or mothers-to-be who want their mojo back after kids, or who are afraid of losing it after having them. This is for moms who long for the freedom, the aliveness, the sexiness, and the energy pre-kids, or for those considering becoming a mom are afraid of losing it. The third type of person that this orgasmic leadership is for single 7- and 8-figure conscious leaders who want to take the time to heal the old wounds and to create the solid foundation for sex and intimacy moving forward so they can call in their king or queen. Yes, and yes, there are too many 7- and 8-figure conscious leaders who are single. I'm just going to say it. There are so freaking many. It's insane. It's like they've got every other area of their life figured out, except they can't hold on to a relationship or attract a relationship to save their life. I see it all the time. All right, loves. So what does this program consist of? Well, it's 6 months of weekly private calls with me where we switch between coaching and live embodiment practice sessions. It is for men or women as well. So just to make that clear. The second part is that you do a 5-day bespoke retreat with me in Costa Rica. This is going to be more than just the VIP experience, but kind of like it, but we're going to be full on the entire time. So we're going to go play. We're going to go on adventures. We're going to do live breathwork journeys, sex magic practices, and there will be an optional plant medicine component too. If you want to try different plant medicines, I have a ton of friends who are totally qualified to deliver and offer that sort of experience that will be coming with us if you so enjoy. The third component to orgasmic leadership is your accountability challenge. As leaders with an already set morning routine, you already do all the things. You already have all the meditations, all the breath work. You've already done all of this stuff before. It's not like you need a routine. It's not like you can't get in a morning ritual. You already have one, but I'm going to give you one that we're going to work on specifically to step into your goals and desires. The things that you have been doing to get you where you are not going to be what's going to get you to your next level. You're going to have to change your practices, hon. I know it can be annoying to hear because you probably already have several things you love to do, but I'm going to ask you to change them, and we're going to do different things because you're going to create different experiences based on the different practices you're being given to do. And the last component of orgasmic leadership is lifetime access to your own member portals, where you're going to have so many audio guided practices, PDF guides, teaching materials, all of that stuff. You're going to have lifetime access to that. All right, now that I've given you all the entire download and the offer suite after I just launched the 8 types of female orgasm blueprint training, yay, there's so many ways and so many options available. There's always more. There's always more. And if you apply to work with me in any of these ways by December 2nd, 2022, you're going to get all 3 of those bonuses for free. So you can go check out the link in the show notes. It's bit.ly/apply with Tilly. APPLYWITHTILLY. bit.ly/apply with Tilly. Again, just head to the link in the show notes. It's much easier. And you can fill out an application. You're going to book a call, and we're going to get on a 45-minute call. I've blocked out an hour just in case, but the calls are usually 45 minutes. And we'll decide together if working together is the right thing. All right, my love, thanks so much for joining me, and I look forward to learning more about you on our application call. See you soon. Bye. Want to become an embodied sex goddess? Of course you do. Take the Sex Goddess quiz today and find out how. Click link in show notes or head to bit.ly/sex goddess quiz to get started.